Welcome to Spotlight. I'm your host, Amitha. Join me weekly as I talk to guests who will inspire us with their success stories and transformational events. An awakened being, a profound mystic, and a contemporary master. Our guest today has a global following because she spreads the messages of love and wisdom. She has appeared on our show prior and has guided us to the path to enlightenment. She has spoken on many subjects, including meditation, scriptures, and health, just to name a few. She is a prolific poet, composer, and singer. She is also an outstanding advocate for women empowerment through her NGO Shakti, which is an initiative to curb the menace of female feticide and to educate and empower the underprivileged girl child to help them live a life with dignity and pride. It's my pleasure to welcome back to our show, Anandmurti Gurumaa. Gurumaa, thank you once again.
Thanks for having me.
We were inspired a lot when you appeared on our show prior, and because of all the events we had in the city. So we are excited to be talking to you today, especially also because now it's no longer hearsay. I understand there is a study that's come out,
yes,
which tells us about how stress does help us a lot.
Yes, because for last almost 8 years, I had been working in propagation and practice of an ancient method called Yoga Nidra. But it was my word and against the words of the people from the medical fraternity. So I really wanted the spiritual and the science aspect to gel together. Hence, one of the leading institutions in India, the ICMR, this Indian Council of Medical Research, we approached them to do a clinical trial of Yoga Nidra to see whether it will help people in hypertension. And it was a 3-month study done with the 7 doctors on the panel. And people were enrolled, and they took various other parameters also. It was primarily for the hypertension, but then they said, let's check if there would be any difference on, say, the insulin or the glucose or the TSH level or the CRP or the HOMA, the reasons why the inflammation of the muscles and the arteries happens. So the protocol was followed, and we had that control group and we had the experimental group. And the result was astoundingly that they themselves were surprised. And here the validation of spiritual master's word was done through the scientific investigation. And they found out that the blood pressure, which was, say, a systolic and diastolic, taking from 145 to, say, 92, it came down to 118 by 72.
Okay.
And the best part was that the patients who were enrolled were already taking hypertension medication. So they kind of weaned out of their medication by 2nd month.
Wow.
So by the 3rd month, they were just doing the Yoga Nidra, and they had a perfect blood pressure. And not only that it was just the blood pressure. I would just read it out. They covered up the HbA1c, they covered blood glucose, CRP, and it's a very annoying, I would say, factor which people are not aware that if that is of a risen up levels, then you have more chances of heart attacks.
Yes.
And we covered up insulin, HOMA, and cortisol. The leading stress hormone, the cortisol, was taken. And lastly, we also covered up the TSH. So the preliminary report, which is right in my hand at the moment, so that report says that just by doing Yoga Nidra, it's a practice of 40 minutes, you just lie down in privacy of your own home, you follow the instructions in which a very deep relaxation is done step by step, and it takes you deeper and deeper, and almost in a zone where you should doze off, but the challenge is that you will not sleep. So your consciousness level is being risen, whereas the body goes into the sleep mode. And that is the time which actually gives you a jump within your own recesses of superconsciousness, meaning that what you will make a resolve in that peaceful state of mind, that will give you the ability to change, whether it's a bad habit, to deal with the phobia or a fear or some complexities which you might have. Because we begin with the resolve and we end again after the visualization part with the resolve that I want to make this change. And you come out in 40 minutes, and every day when you are practicing it, not only you are charged up with good energies, but also your blood report will tell that your cortisol level has come down, your insulin level has come down, your glucose level has come down, your TSH has come down, and the most important part for which this study was done, and that is that your blood pressure is now in the normal range. So my vision is that this report will be very soon tabled to the Prime Minister, to Health Minister of our country, and let it be, taken to all other doctors, and let it be like, when a doctor prescribes that take this medication, he should say, do Yog Nidra, right? So that any person who is on a drug knows this, that after a time, the drug doesn't work. Hence, they need to level it up and further level it up. And then it comes with its own side effects and problems. The hardening of the arteries or the cardiomyopathy and various other things which might happen. So if someone can, in the privacy of their own home, do this practice, and I always say that it's now has been proven, it's just the science needed the reports, the conclusive report. It is right there. So it's not just a religious mumbo jumbo which I'm talking about. And our sages had been saying it, but because the modern mind says, oh, where is the proof? Where is the proof? And I say, okay, now here the ICMR gives you the proof. And take this proof and use Yog Nidra and uplift yourself, make yourself healthy, not only in body, but also in mind. We also covered the DRA scale for checking the mind health. So the anxiety, the stress too was measured pre and post. What the difference? Again, big difference came up. So it's a feel good, and it's making you stress free, and it is giving you a very positive energy to deal with the situations. And I always say we cannot change the external situations, but we can change our mind.
So from within, it's possible.
Right.
So Yoga Nidra seems to be the key.
It is the key. It is the key.
And
anybody can do, irrespective of whatever your religion or your faith is, because it's not asking you to change your faith or change your religion. We are giving, the rishis have given a methodology which can be used by any human being, whether you are a believer of God or not, whether you are a believer of religion or not, because it gives you a system. So you adapt to that system, and it comes, it has a beautiful music track, and it comes with the instructions. So you don't have to worry what to do and how to do. And so you just lie down straight on your bed or floor or a carpet with a little, pillow under your neck, and you spread out your hands and your legs, absolutely relaxed. You just follow the instructions that when to deep breathe, what to do, how to do the consciousness rotation, how to move your attention from one body part to another. So slowly, slowly you are being guided, and amazingly the changes were so mind-boggling that when I met the team, the doctors who were there, they said that we had great doubts ourselves that how can this method alone change the blood parameters which we want to see the changes. It seems like something they were not very sure of.
But now there's a science.
Now it's a science.
And now we want to find out how a person can get to this. But before that, it's time for a short break. Welcome back to Spotlight. We are talking to Anandmurti Gurumaa about an exciting new study that links the spiritual teachings and science. So this is quite exciting about Yoga Nidra. So you told us about how it's done, but how can a common man get hold of these instructions?
See, this track is very much available on iTunes and on my website, gurumaa.com. So anybody can just simply download it on any device and just use it every day. See, that's the beauty of the digital internet world. It makes everything so accessible.
That's amazing. So we look forward to this study being carried on to the next phase. And, you know, fingers crossed, it's going to become global one day, thanks to you. Thanks very much, Gurumaa. I want to go on further and talk a little bit about everything else that you do, many hats that you wear. First of all, we know that people love your in-depth discourses and the books that you've written about the various teachings of several masters. Tell us a little bit more.
See, people sometimes, because of their religious belief, just want to be in that lane, you know, that religion lane. And my work is that I'll go in that particular religion lane, whether it is Sri Guru Nanak Dev's teachings, or it's teaching of Sri Krishna Bhagavad Gita, or whether it is teaching of Shankaracharya, or whether it is teaching of Sufis like Jalaluddin Rumi or Bulle Shah, and so many other, you know, saints which happened in this great country of ours, India. So I take their teachings and then I talk about the unifying factor, and that factor is the truth. So the parameter is truth alone. So it doesn't matter to me that what particular label of religion you carry on your forehead. I ask, do you understand the language of divine love? Do you know the ways and means to make your mind calm, relaxed, and not be agitated and frustrated and depressed? 3, do you know who you are in your divinity, in your reality? 4, is your mind in your command and control? And 5th, are you totally satiated and contented within you, and you are enjoying your every moment of life? If answer is yes, then please continue doing whatever you are doing. If answer is no, then let's delve deep into the teachings of the masters whom you believe in, but you haven't investigated their teachings the way it should have been. So the logically and scientifically and psychologically and meditatively going deep into the verses of Guru Nanak Dev, or going into work of Rumi, or going into work of, you know, we have beautiful, you know, huge, you know, books, the great books which we have written by the masters, and one after another, when you are tasting it and you find that end result is sweetness. End result is truth, the sweetness of truth. So I wish that people, you know, can come out of their shells, and the hatred which people are carrying these days in their hearts for other religion, and that narrow-mindedness, and that, you know, small-mindedness, and not being able to respect the attitude or teaching of the another person. The supremacy of our ego is working in such a way that we say, okay, what I know, what I believe is the great, and rest is all no use. Or we condemn them. So my whole work is that the beauty in the differences, So the ritual language might be different, but are they talking about truth? Are they making our life meaningful? Are they giving us a ways to go into the meditative states where we are calm and happy and contented, and we grow consciously, and we evolve consciously, and we touch to the heights which we are supposed to touch being a human being? We know everything about clothes, jewelry, money, cars, but we know nothing about our own mind.
And that's why we need a living guru like you, because sometimes we need that guidance.
I think so. You need a living fruit to satiate your hunger. If I give you a photo of an apple, well, you cannot munch on that paper.
Well said. Yes.
Yeah.
But a lot of us do need that guidance. So
yes.
We are thankful to have someone like you guide us.
I do believe that very strongly, very strongly. And you can call that person a great friend, a great teacher, a great guide, whatever word, because some people are really allergic to word guru. So I said, okay, don't use the word guru. Let me be a teacher. Let me be your friend. And whatever I have experienced and whatever I have known through my journey, I am ready to share it with one and all. And I believe that sky is limitless. It's infinite. And so is this spiritual world. Let's not, be in those small, narrow shells of ours. Let's breathe. Let's come out of those shells and let's see what is cooking in that another lane. There might be something more beautiful.
That's so wonderful about you, Gurumaa, that you relate to the people and and sky's the limit for you as well.
It is.
And you relate to them on different levels. It's not just the teaching.
See, one thing is there. Stress is there, whether you are whatever race, whatever country. Stress is there. Stress is killing you. And I say, let's do Yog Nidra and be stress-free. So why would you mind that?
Yes, very well said. But you go beyond that. You are also a singer.
Poem, music, singing is like modules which I use. Because, when a drum is beating, nobody can sit still, right? And if flute is playing, then nobody can move. They would like to be still. So music is like a magic. And this magic is to be used, not to be just kept in a corner.
Very well said. We want to find out about that. You do have a lot of songs, but that one song that's making waves everywhere. But before that, it's time for a short break. Welcome back to Spotlight. We are talking to Anandmurti Gurumaa. So many hats you wear, so much you do for others. You are a prolific poet, composer, and singer. And on your website, we can find much more about that. But tell us about that one song that's making waves. And
See, I just finished 2 tracks, actually.
Wow.
One is a Sufi track, and another is a Punjabi song, bhajan, which is about the loveful relationship of disciple and the master. So the music is so good that if it is on, I myself cannot sit still. And the whole beauty of love which one feels when you are associated with the master and the guru. And so I'm just enjoying, composing, and then the lyrics just flow whenever it flows. I just pen it down and then sit with my wonderful team, my music directors, and let's do something now new. And that's again the magic, the power of the music. You are here, you are depressed, and suddenly you hear this one track, and you are just picked up, and there's a zing in your life. It comes just because the music was strong enough and powerful enough to move, and that which doesn't move is not a music.
Very well said.
Yes.
Words flow out of you so sweetly. It's so nice to listen to you.
Thank you.
And that's why I understand you also your advocacy goes a long way. We want to find out more about your NGO Shakti.
Yes, NGO Shakti has been now 16 years now. Even when the governments were sleeping, I was the one person who talked about the female feticide and infanticide. And the work is really growing great and good. And every year, almost 800 to 900 girls are provided their tuition fees wherever they are. We make the check in the name of the school principal, and we don't hand it out to parents. We hand it out directly to the school. But sometimes, because of poverty or this or that, they might spend money somewhere else.
Very true, yeah.
And the best part is that the Shakti has now grown in some other wings also. Like we covered up the farmers who were committing suicide in Maharashtra. So we had a program called Shakti Karuna. So we selected some 65 widows and who had small children, no livelihood, and they were in great depressive states. So I myself went there in Beed district in Maharashtra, handed out one-time checks to them. And then the Shakti this year has adopted some 22 schools in Maharashtra where we have given them the module of e-learning. So computers and laptop and everything, and inverters to run if there is no electricity, and giving them science laboratories, giving them a library, and especially the girls. And there's one thing which I would really like to say. People maybe over here don't understand, but I met these girls who would walk 7 kilometers every day to go to their school with their heavy bags on their shoulders. So they requested for a bicycle. And I said, why not have a bicycle? So they were given the bicycles.
Nice.
And because this is, I feel very strongly that if a woman is educated, if a girl is educated, she will lay such a strong foundation in that family, and that would be a great asset to the whole society. Education is very important, and being self-dependent is very important. Having your own livelihood in your hands is very important. Being self-employed is very important. And irrespective of, again, religion, this help goes to everybody. Every woman, every girl.
Yeah. The whole family is actually
yes.
comes up because of that.
Yes.
Wow, it's amazing. Shakti has grown so much.
It has. And I'm so happy to, share this information with you. And meeting those women, meeting those girls, it was such a heart-wrenching thing. The problem, because of uneducation and poverty, they were married off at 14 years of age or 15. And by 21, she has 2 kids and husband has committed suicide. What will she do? She doesn't know what to do. So I really hope and pray that people shouldn't, I'm saying this very bluntly, people shouldn't put money in coffers of temples and gurdwaras and mosques. They should put money in educating the women and the girl and spreading the education and making it available to people. Because God doesn't need your money. Money is what? In one way, say, Maya chodo, it's a filthy thing. We need to come out of it. And here we are putting that same money to our gods and temples and in the places. So money can be well used if we can bring smile onto some human being.
Very well spoken, like a true guru.
I don't know whether true or not, but this is what I feel.
It's so true. You are a genuine guru. It's truly inspirational sitting next to you. We have been inspired so much by you today, Gurumaa. As always, whenever we have spoken to you, whatever you do, always inspired by you. Yeah. And I'm sure our viewers have been inspired today too. But I want to target our youth who are watching us today. In this age, it's all about instant gratification, and sometimes they don't hang on to, for example, some of the teachings that you've told us about.
See, I believe every young, because I have very close contact with the youth, and I have special programs running in ashram for them once a year. And I say this to every young boy and girl that don't study to get a degree, study to be more knowledgeable. Don't make money to flaunt, make money to help others and help, yes, a little bit to yourself and supporting yourself. And the real joy isn't going to come out of your degree or job. The real joy is going to come up by dancing, by being happy. So create happiness around you. And learn to be calm and collected, that even if the whole world dies, you are still calm like Buddha. And if the whole world comes and adulates you, you are still calm like a Buddha. Things will come and go. We need to be that solid. And that can only happen if we meditate and if we learn about the intricacies of how our mind functions. Once we know that, then you are the real king or a queen of this earth, and then live like a royalty.
Thank you so much, Gurumaa, for talking to us.
Thank you,
Inspire
Amitha.
us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So that was Anandmurti Gurumaa, who has inspired us to take up Yoga Nidra and look within to find true happiness. Well, that's a wrap for this week's show. Thank you for watching us. Continue to follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and write to us at spotlight@ethnicchannels.com. Until next week, this is Amitha signing off, encouraging you to seek your own path to enlightenment.